Everyone from our Delta MSG studios, John Giannone, Steve Valiquette. For too often in the first 2 weeks, we saw third periods the Rangers would lock up. Last two games, they've locked it down in the third period, and that's a good sign, especially against a team like the Caps.
It was outstanding to see a team being measured as a team, but also as individuals. Players that stepped up that were young guys in this game. The composure of Miller back there, the compete and composure of Fox, Shesterkin's ability to battle. Lindgren played big man hockey against a very tough opponent. This Washington team is the best in the East right now, for me. So they measured themselves as players, as a team, against the best, and they minimized Ovechkin. He has a 7-shot night, but they really minimized him, and it took a group to do it. They should be very proud of themselves. That's an outstanding game. It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah, the intensity was there. Now the Rangers, as Sam said, at NHL 500 at 4-4-2. More importantly, though, it's like a microcosm, right? First 2 weeks, Rangers felt they played well enough to win and didn't. Now they've won 3 out of 4. They've gotten 7 points out of the last 8, and now can start to feel like, okay, we're probably where we should be, but we have something more to build on.
Yeah, they must feel like that's a far stretch from what we saw the first game in Buffalo, right? I mean, this team's really turned it on. But I like all the small plays. I think that for anybody that's paying attention to Adam Fox or Miller in their own zone, pay close attention to what they're doing. We had a lot of support in this game, too, throughout from Potato, and you got guys like DiGiuseppe. Does that guy ever stop moving his feet?
Yeah.
I mean, are you serious? His forecheck is awesome. So you've got a lot of guys now that Washington hit their stride on their season, too, because their taxi squad forwards came up and played really well. They were impactful. And that's a really enthusiastic group over there that the Rangers just beat. That was no pushover of a game. The Caps are what they are right now, and I'm telling you right now, they're contending, and the Rangers made them look pretty flat at moments.
The first goal scorer for the Rangers tonight and the game-winning goal scorer for the Rangers tonight was the same player, and it's Ryan Strome, who was trying so hard to find himself, again, microcosm of the team, in those first 2 weeks, now has 4 goals in his last 6 and is second on the team in goals behind only Panarin.
Right, so I was shading very well on the young guys, but the old guys, played particularly well, too. And you look at Strome's night, Panarin's night, Zibanejad was better. So, yes, you need a village, really, to play well against a team like Washington. I think they're that good. They're hard to play against right now. And you see Strome's goal there. He has an outstanding night because he was on the puck. And you see the play here that you're looking at his goal that is the second goal for Strome. Kakko chips it off the wall. And Kakko made that play 2 more times in his own zone to close out the game. Strome and Panarin connect here. And kids, don't do this unless you're playing against the New York Rangers, okay? Because that slide there doesn't work. But the slot line opens up twice here. We talk about this a lot. It's an impossible save for a goalie. Anytime you see a team go across the middle of the ice twice, look at the goaltender. He's in the corner, okay? Right. He has his jock straps in the corner, and he's trying to find his faculties. But there's a lot that goes into that, and it started in their own zone with Kakko being so aware. Yeah,
that slide turned a 2-on-1 into a 2-on-0, and Ryan Strome able to score the goal. That made it 3-1. The middle goal for the Rangers was scored by a guy from Island Park, Long Island. He wears number 22 because his 2 favorite athletes growing up were Derek Jeter, 2, and Brian Leetch, 2. Cool. And the goal he scored had the hands and awareness of Jeter and the wizardry of Brian Leetch. It was remarkable to watch from a guy who had 2 goals in his career before tonight.
Well, you know what? It's a goal where you wish fans were in the building for that one.
Right.
You know, because everybody would have been on the edge of their seat as he cut to the middle. He saw the pocket like a quarterback. And the way that it started really for me was 3 zones back with Gauthier. Now, it's always a good throw to the top of the crease off the rush here because it's going to cause some chaos. And Washington has a hard time defending right now. So now you start the play, and you can see Rooney looking right away to get it to the point because that's the play that's available on the switch with Potato. Now, Potato's kept to the outside. Typically, when he reaches right about here, you'd get a call back from Gauthier and he'd reverse it behind the net, but he looks for the middle. And honestly, I was saying, don't go there, man. You know, it's going to turn over, and you think that maybe it feeds the rush the other way. But Gauthier stays there, and he chips it by Vitek Vanek, and it's an amazing first goal for him. But I just can't imagine what the Garden would have sounded like in that moment scoring his first goal for a New Yorker, everybody would have been just pumped.
March 9th, 2016, November 18th, 2017, and tonight. Those are the 3 goals in the career of Anthony Potato. He'll remember them all. He'll remember this one especially because this is his favorite team growing up. All right, so at 3-1, it then became a matter of locking the game down. You figured the Caps would have a push, but you also figured Igor Shesterkin would have an answer. Both were true.
Well, absolutely, and that's why it's such a great night for the kids, because you get to measure yourself against the best in moments like this. You got a tie score in the third, you're down, you're up. All of these moments add up to experience, and his night begins in the first 10 seconds on a breakaway save on Ovechkin. That play right there on Dowd was outstanding. So he's building a game at this point as Shesterkin. He's at the top of his paint at the beginning of the second period to make another big save on Wilson. He gets hit high here, so he's got to fight through a little bit of that. But he came right back down to the ice, and I thought, look where he was. He was big, he was confident, he was at the top of his paint. That was his best game by far of the season, where he was commanding his crease. His body illusion was bigger. He looked sizable in the net, and there was nothing around, and he kept the puck really well. And like we talked about in the pregame, Washington's the best team net front in the NHL. They had 10 goals going into this game from just screening the goalie. So that wasn't an easy game to play for him physically either. So you're talking about his technical, his mental, and mindset in the third period. Everything was tested. It's an outstanding game for him to build off of.
31 saves for Shesterkin, 3rd win of the season. Rangers win it 4-2.